Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy any investment based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research. The Sunday Roast presents 12 Stocks for the 12 Days of Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you for listening.
Hello and welcome to the 12 Stocks for the 12 Days of Christmas. Today we're joined by Callum Sommerton, CEO of Chill Brands. Welcome, Callum, and Merry Christmas again.
Hi guys, great to see you. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, we wish you a merry, chilled Christmas.
It's not how it goes, is it? So we've obviously picked Chill again. I believe it's the second year running. Kev, came on with it. Was it last year?
I can accept that Chill was the worst performing stock we picked in 2022. We picked it at 15p. It did go up to 18.5 or 19p, and then now is wonderfully settling around the 2 pence mark. So yes, it can't be any worse than last year, surely. 2p a loss of 13p is not possible next year. So this is good. It cannot perform that badly.
I won't say the only way is up, because obviously it could still go down. But let's hope the only way is up from here, because it seems to be at the bottom. But obviously it's been a challenging year, as we've just said. You've had a good period of restructuring and clearing the decks and coming on board as CEO. How do you feel it's gone so far in 2022?
Yeah, I think, as you say, it has been a tough year. We have needed to restructure and get the brand into and the business itself into a much better state. We've had to relook at a lot of contracts, look at our suppliers, our vendors, supply chain, and that's what we've been doing. Since I came on, we've just been leaving no stone unturned in trying to get things cleaned up and really getting us nice and lean as well, because we can't forget, we're in a difficult economic period, and so any business that's not trying to get lean should be, in my view. But I think it's been going well. I think ultimately we relaunched our website and our brand itself really on the 18th of October. And that's something that we were really very keen to do, on the basis that we needed to update exactly how we looked in terms of our products and our consumer messaging. We needed to update how effective our e-commerce site was. There's no point owning chill.com if you don't turn it into the most effective e-commerce destination that you can. And so, yeah, it's been a slow burn. There's been lots of stuff to sort out, but we're getting there, I think. And now we can focus again, really, as we have been, on getting the sales sorted, making sure that the products we've got are finding their way into consumer hands, and just building momentum and cash flow.
The question that's burning in my head, and obviously there's been a lot of investors involved in CBD across the board. Why should we believe now Chill Brands has the opportunity to create revenue and obviously profit, EBITDA? Why?
Yeah, two things on that, Kevin. I think one is CBD itself and cannabis itself has been through a very poor period of performance. And I think it's one of those cyclical markets, ultimately, where things rise and fall. At the moment, a lot of that comes down to regulation, legislation, what's happening with the Food Standards Agency, Novel Foods in the UK, what's happening with safe banking in the US. And the day for cannabis and CBD will come again. But I think more to the point and more relevant to Chill is that following this week's, the most recent announcement on vapor products, we won't just be a CBD company. We are aiming to be a wellness company, sure, and a tobacco alternative company, again, yeah. But really, it's about being a brand marketing company. It's about finding engaging products. It's about whatever they may contain. It's about putting them out into the market in the right locations, finding consumers for them, and all of that is wrapped under the Chill umbrella. The other important thing is the marketplace that I've referred to, and I kind of alluded to it earlier on this podcast, which was that if we're going to own chill.com, we have to lean into it being the most attractive and effective e-commerce hub and destination there is online for the kind of products that we're going to be selling. We've been chipping away at that and getting ourselves sorted on the back end with other brands that want to join chill.com. We've got a good roster of companies we've been speaking with, all of whom, without fail, to the simple question of do you want to sell on chill.com, more or less come back with a resounding yes. And so again, not all of those are CBD brands either. Some of them are, some of them, perform exceedingly well in the market already and are generating a lot of revenue. So why do I think that Chill is on the cusp of starting to generate improved revenues? Why do I think that we're getting to a position, hopefully sooner rather than later, of being cash flow positive? It's because we've got now projects in vape and marketplace that are scalable, that are in demand by the market itself, by consumers, and that we can tap with resources that we already have and without expending too much additional capital. And that is chill.com. That is the brand that we've now built, the messaging that it has around it. And in fact, our own products as well, they're a big draw too. So, wrap all those things together, 12 stocks of Christmas present, if you will. And I think you end up with a much better proposition than we perhaps had in the past.
So if I ask you this question now at the end of 2023, where do you envisage that the marketplace will be? Because this, I suppose, to me is exciting because you're going to be benefiting from a lot of products you haven't invested in and basically just taking commissions from those products. So how big is your dream in terms of size, revenue, et cetera, for the marketplace?
Yeah, so you're right. That marketplace model effectively entails that we identify and work with brands that have high quality products, that have products that have been probably tested for the right content, whether that's cannabinoid content or heavy metals testing, ingredients, etc. We want to make sure everything that goes on is safe. We want to make sure that everything that goes on is somewhat novel and, of course, is of a very high quality. So where do I want to see that in a year's time? Well, I'd like to have at least 20 brands would be my kind of finger in the air number at this stage, but I think we could do more. As I say, it's very scalable, and we've got a good number that are interested already, more than half of the number I just said. So we've got at least 12 to 13 that we're speaking with right now and are very engaged. Beyond that, I think, again, it's revenue for us without having to take the upfront risk of carrying inventory, of doing product development, etc. So, while I can't necessarily give an exact revenue figure at this stage because I don't know the price point or the performance of all of those brands, I think we stand a better chance of making significant money through that. And of course, we've got our own other projects on in terms of vapes, but I think we stand a better chance of making a significant revenue figure from marketplace than we do from just continuing down the same track, trying to sell only our gummies, our pouches, and our smokes. So I think, again, going back to your question, where do I want to see Chill in a year? I'd like to see our vape products as far and wide as they can be, in ski resorts, in bars, in clubs, in stores, in dispensaries, in vape shops, and obviously online on chill.com. And I think the marketplace itself, I want it to be seen as, in a year's time, a go-to desired destination for brands to sell their products.
And in terms of the penetration in the US, that obviously is the most important, but what about penetration into the UK and the European markets?
Yeah, so we currently have 3 brands in the UK interested in joining chill.com at this stage. We also have a European brand that's looking to onboard with us. Obviously, we have to consider what the logistics and fulfillment situation is there, but we're mapping that out right now. So our intention is to onboard brands in both the US and the UK. And actually, importantly, what's quite unique about chill.com as just an e-commerce marketplace that's launching makes it quite difficult to get going, but it's something that I believe has a lot of upside, is the fact that we do have that dual jurisdiction footprint. It means that the best brands from the US that we're working with can be introduced to the UK if they're not here already, and we've already started that conversation. But equally, brands that are in the UK can start selling in the US on chill.com, and it provides us obviously with a way to debut a product and start making money through our commissions on those sales, but it also gives them a simplified route to e-commerce in a country they may never entered before.
Yes, I can see the many benefits. And I mean, based on 20 companies, I cannot see how 20 companies can be onboarded and you would be in a situation where that would not be EBITDA positive, when effectively all the costs are already taken care of, or the vast majority. As you said, there might be a little bit more computer technology required, or a little bit another staff member or two to make sure that all those are happening. But yeah, so very positive from that. The vapes, as you've said before, I think could be a hero product, and if it is, then it's going to be a game changer. You know, it could literally produce the revenue required to make the company profitable within a number of months. And that's, I suppose, the exciting thing about what has now happened. Now, there's one other thing that has been with me for maybe 2 years, I think, maybe a year and a half, and that is those damn seeds. What's happening?
Yeah, so we've got a number of projects with the seeds again. We've got our fingers in a lot of pies at the moment, but with the seeds right now, they are coming out of what hopefully will be their final year of testing. Following that, we'll hope that and believe that they will be added to the European seed catalogue, which will enable us to start commercializing them, selling them there, and getting Chill's unique seed genetics into new products, into plants elsewhere. And at the same time, we have a number of projects in the US where people are very keen to adopt and use seeds that have the characteristics that I'll have to defer comment on for now, but characteristics that are very desired in certain projects that won't necessarily run to the same sort of CBD products and isolate manufacturing that you might perhaps expect.
That sounds like it could be like something you find in Amsterdam to me. Something, Yeah,
I'll again I have to reserve comment on that, but I think there's a few quite exciting projects waiting in the wings there that we hope we can
sure
pull off. But of course, marketplace and vape remain our clearest paths to revenue at this stage, and that's what we're pursuing most aggressively. And just on those vapes, Kevin, as you say, we're already taking calls from retailers who are interested. And to be clear, they're asking us, not the other way around.
Yeah, no, I can see the potential's staring people in the face. So it's going to be good, I think, from that perspective. I can't see how you will not sell a reasonable quantity of them. It's not like a CBD product. It's not like, gummies or oil or any of those other cigarettes. It is something that's just in the, what's the right word? It's just in people's nature at the minute to vape.
Yes.
So, and they're doing it for flavors, aren't they? Rather than for any positive, health impact or anything else that may be applied to any of the other products. So, and it's just like buying a drink, isn't it? Are you going to spend $15 on this or $12 on this? Or are you going to go and get yourself a double vodka and Coke? It's probably the same price. So this is going to be the way forward for sure. And I think, I can't be wrong. 2 years on the trot, surely.
Come on, book the trend. Book the trend. But we're on the 12 stocks of Christmas, Callum. So we ask you the question: what is the best Christmas present you've ever received?
Good question. Do you know, I received, when I was a kid, my parents bought me a Victorian kind of piano, and it was my first piano. It wasn't brand new. It didn't have just like the perfect kind of Yamaha tones. It's not like a keyboard, but it had so much history, and it's wonderful and warm and expressive to play. And I take it to every house I live in. And it really is the kind of center of the household. So I love it. And that's probably
I bet at Christmas as well. I bet it gets a little, tinkling of the ivories at Christmas. Right.
Much to the distress of everybody else, but yes.
How much tuning does it need with being so old?
It needs lots of tuning, but it doesn't get very much.
I can imagine. So the next question then is, being we're on, this is a food themed podcast, being obviously the roast. What is a typical Christmas meal or roast in the Sommerton household?
Yeah, so I ended up with the kind of 3 Christmas dinners overall. I've got my partner's family, she's Polish, and so we end up having the kind of Christmas Eve fish generally, and a kind of big spread then, and then a classic roast dinner with all the trimmings and turkey on Christmas Day. But my favorite probably comes on Boxing Day or maybe the day after, which is turkey curry.
That's a good shout. A good curry or a ham curry, or even turkey and ham pie or something with the leftovers.
Yeah.
So with it being Polish influence, is it Wieberover or Wisnowka or something like that? That you have the old yours?
Oh, for Merry Christmas, be Wesołych Świąt.
That's the one. Yeah, excellent.
That's it.
It sounds good. It sounds there's a lot of good food in your household, that's for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Onwards and upwards, and we wish you all the best in 2023, and we look forward to you updating the market in the near future. Callum, thanks very much for your time.
Thanks, guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Callum.
This podcast was brought to you by Roast PR Limited. If you would like to appear on a future episode of The Sunday Roast, please email admin@thesundayroast.net.